Hello everyone, and let's talk about leading the generative AI transition beyond cognitive biases. Now, the thing is that the competitive advantage when adopting AI demands on human tech synergy much more than other technologies. AI needs to be customized to each individual company. You can't just have a general AI adoption like you would with a CRM or ERM or any other sort of software that has a standardized output. You need to customize it to each individual situation. That means that you need to get buy-in from your staff. And the big obstacle to getting staff buy-in is cognitive biases, not code. That's what poses the biggest adoption risks. So leaders must tackle mindsets to address the technical adoption of challenges in order to get people's buy-in. For example, one of the cognitive biases that's the biggest problem is confirmation bias, which tends to cause people to look for information that they already know and that they already believe and ignore the gains from AI. We know from surveys that over 70% of people are skeptical about the risks of generative AI. And there's some reason to be skeptical, of course, but they're underestimating the great benefits that they can get from AI. Status quo bias is another problem. It favors safe use routines that people are used to over new workflows. Loss aversion is another bias where people tend to inflate the risks and the losses associated with new things, and that shrinks the perceived rewards. These biases really undermine innovation. So as a leader, you need to take actions to overcome this resistance in people's mindsets. You need to have structured debates and data to confront hidden assumptions. For example, host cross-functional forums to surface pros, cons, gaps, where people actually talk about things and where they're rewarded for sharing their concerns, so that they can talk openly and they can feel heard. Share vivid stories of AI benefits, growth paths. Run small pilots and demonstrate measurable gains to win skeptics. Model AI use as a leader so teams can see you as a leader using it. And make sure to tie upskilling programs to clear advancement paths. Have an ethical approach to learning. Ethical guardrails are needed to catch bias and protect stakeholder trust, which is very important. Diverse teams can widen perspectives and improve outcomes. Training should cover technical, strategic, and ethical aspects. So you should have workshops, labs, and videos to fit varied learning styles, and have safe sandboxes where staff can test AI ideas without production risk. I'll tell you about an insurance company I worked with. So we had, as a start, we decided to help their claims adjusters improve their process of writing letters. And what we did was they were writing the letters. They had a really annoying part of the process where they had to pull the language from PDFs. And the language that they have to find the language, they have to copy paste the language into a Word doc, and all the formatting is broken when they copy paste it. So what we did was we trained the AI when they put in a brief phrase describing the incident. We trained it to actually pull the language and then had it preserve the formatting, so it was really helpful. And then we had to do other parts that they previously had to do, which was create a layman's summary of the language and then check the language, check the letter, make sure it works well. So all of those things were done in a helpful manner, and they saved these claims adjusters several minutes per letter, which is so important in the middle of a hurricane when you're writing so many of these and when there's thousands and thousands of claims coming in. So that was really helpful, and people were really happy about that. And that's the kind of change that you want to see as an early pilot. So leaders here in this organization started with something that really helped. The claims adjusters were initially skeptical, but once they started using this tool, they saw how helpful it was. That paved the way to more serious transformations. And so that helped address a lot of biases in the firm. So start with these sorts of things that really help people address their pain points. And that will help foster a culture of innovation. Now, a crucial thing is that once I did the initial build of the claims pilot, of the claims letter pilot, we got the senior adjusters involved to actually improve it over time, because I'm not an expert. I don't know what's the exact language they need. And it's true that they were very necessary in order to improve it, but it's also true that that was a strategy to get buy-in from the claims adjusters, from the senior claims adjusters, and then they helped spread this word about this letter and claims letter copilot and how helpful it was. So that's the kind of strategy you need to address biases and overcome people's resistance. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Wise Decision Maker Show. Please make sure to subscribe wherever you checked out the show and leave a review. It helps others discover the show and helps us improve the show. And if you have any questions, email me at gleb, Gleb, @disasteravoidanceexperts.com.